going on, YouTube world? Anything new? Anything fun? Anything exciting going on currently?
No.
Any specific particular time of year that
No.
we all just to look forward to?
Absolutely nothing.
Michael, Vincenzo, Steve. I'm Dave, IRP 215. We can pretty much book January with a goals episode, something else sports wise to have that buffer, and then the 17th goes around Hall of Fame. I think, and again, the other day it was 74,
Yes.
and I think I'm up to like 82, 83, because there's been some that have come out today.
I've seen a couple,
and a lot of them are under not the what should be under tagging Jake, and which again,
those I haven't stumbled across. If I'm
there was like two or three, I think, this morning when and again, I hope he's in here. And this tells you that I'm getting old when I start to forget names. It was the Bears collector that was on that I sent this morning.
Oh, just the Bears.
Yeah. And thank you kindly. And hello. When I saw his and it was like 15 minutes, I'm like, okay, this is going to be again. I told Trista when we were going, I had like a 30-minute diatribe there on the phone earlier. Again,
about this?
It's never, and people say, oh, you're full of shit. It's never about us getting in.
No, 100%.
It's the premise that I've said it in every fucking time I've talked about it. I've said it to anybody I've talked to in person, like at the National or any other time.
Who wants to listen?
And most people don't, because again, you've heard it fucking 100 times and you'll hear it 100 more, because when you have the people that are mostly voting for this now, the collector base that's voting for this now, 5 years is pretty much amazing. That's where they're all at. We just had a superstar on Sunday hit 5 years, and I got to tell you, YouTube Card Mutiny, it was great. You have those people all in the same boat. You see them all in these same groups. The podcasts or the chats, or you have the lives, and it's all the same particular era of cards being discussed. All of it. Pre-war, so pre-2002. That's the war I think of. The Iraq War Part B.
Bullshit, I say.
Well, you can say it. Oh, come on now, Bobby. This is a PG broadcast.
No.
Particularly great. It
never once has this thing been PG.
Well, maybe the first one was sort of like
well, okay, maybe
the nerves coming into play and not knowing how it would go, but other than that, yeah.
Bobby changes it to PG. Cow crap.
Good. That's more like it. Eric's eyes might bleed a little blood.
Speaking of which, make sure you hit the like button, make Eric pay. Just throwing that out there. Anyways, go ahead, Dave.
It gets tiring when you hear all these people are going to sit there and talk about the Vets Committee voting in like a Dick Allen and a Dave Parker. Harold Baines, the controversial one of years ago. I don't know if Rock Reigns went that route or not. I digress because that really at this moment isn't important. It's because of, and again, if people don't want to listen to me say this, that's fine. I've heard it enough in other videos of the people I care about watching.
Here you go, Dave.
That's fine. It's 100% fine. But I know you guys all are pretty much in the same boat with me. Maybe I'm in the front trying to play the part of the Titanic people like standing up and already knowing that it's going to be really heavy in that front because I'm there, and you're all trying to be in the back to sort of counterbalance my weight.
I just thought it was funny because just because you just you jumped right in. So I figured let's go ahead and throw it out there and give you the soapbox.
Because I do have the soapbox extend in there somewhere too in the banners. It just amazes me when these folks have the discussions on the channel. And again, I don't take away from any of the knowledge and insight you guys that have the vintage aspect in your collecting wheelhouse. I mean, it's down the middle. It's like a 60-mile-an-hour EFIS pitch. You're going to hit it 450 feet. I love it. I can't listen to it all the time. It's got to be when I'm in a mood for that. But when it's constant of like, well, what era, like the Dodgers, the 56 Brooklyn Dodgers, whatever, you're going to go down the rabbit hole of all these players. And then you're going to discuss the validity of these and, hey, this guy should be recognized more. This guy should be recognized more. This particular set, again, the last 4 years has been like the Redback, some Redman or some sort of food issue. I know, Bobby. I know it's long-winded. I've got a big stomach, so I've got a lot of energy I can burn before I pass the torch. If I'm running, I'm passing the torch after 3 steps. You have all this like the history of the game. We know about the superstars. We know about the 52 tops, the 48 Leaf, the 33 Gaudi, the T206. There we go.
Sounds like speak of the devil. Were your ears burning?
It's constant. We have to remember all this, like the valuable portions of the game that aren't really recognized on a national everyday level. The names that aren't Mantle, the names that aren't Mays, the names that aren't Robinson, Page. For how long Josh Gibson was one of the guys that was sort of like an afterthought. I mean, 06 Bowman Sterling had some sort of piece of, I think, bat in there in the set. So then he starts getting more publicity. But folks that normally aren't, I won't say trailblazers because that's, I think, too strong of a term. But when you have a lot of foundational pieces that help this community become what it is now, and literally everybody that's going to be voted in this year, and again, I know those folks aren't voting from back then. That's fine. It's not gonna change. The guys that we stuck around with back in the day and pre us, Dazzler still makes videos time to time, but Elon doesn't, Tyson doesn't, GSN doesn't, Denny doesn't. What's up, Jeff? There's so many guys that either moved on from the platform, and again, talking to Trista, it was such a long fucking winded. I'm sure she's sleeping now because I fucking just ran on for 30, 40 minutes, just my usual rambling rose.
I was chatting with Elon on Friday.
I texted him a couple times during the game, I think last week, and just the old HTTR. And we chatted for a while, and he's like, man, it's been way too long. I said, I know. It's been forever and a day, and it sucks. But those guys went because Blog went, and YouTube changed all their shit. So it's like, okay, and then people advance in their careers, families, lives, whatever the case may be. They just sort of grow disenchanted with the redemption process. Panini at the time, you lose Upper Deck. That was huge for the football community. You're thinking, man, there wasn't much for football. When
Big
Upper Deck
talks.
was out, that was insanely big. And it cannot be underscored or understated enough. When they went out and lost their NFL license, or they couldn't figure something out, then it pretty much derailed football for a lot of the online guys that made the videos, because again, that was the stuff they were excited about. UD Premier was one of the biggest gets of the year. That 08 class was a huge one. The 07 one was.
Yep.
But to have all these guys now that have not a fucking clue, not the slightest fucking clue of who Wenzel 888, J.W. Smitty 80, Michael, I'm sure a lot of folks don't watch you, Dystemic, me, Steve, you hear Purple GT. How many of these guys watch him? Sictifer, Dawkins. I'll even go like Boston Broncos. I'll even say Michael's favorite guy. One of my favorites of all time. King Midas. I know he took a bunch of stuff down, but he had a lot of nice stuff in the day. And nobody knows any of this shit because nobody wants to, for whatever fucking reason, just like completely wipe shit clean with the history. Yes, our videos sucked. Mine still do. That's not going to change. I'm not getting a fucking camera. I'm not getting a mic. I'm not getting lighting. I'm not going to get fucking editing software.
But here's the thing. No offense to some of the new people, but some of their stuff sucks.
Oh,
It's no different than any of us who make videos. It's the same concept. It's the same idea. And no, I'm not trying to dog anybody. I'm only saying that because I know my shit sucks. Dave knows his shit sucks. Michael would probably say his shit sucks.
100%.
Vinny would probably say the same thing because, like, he's still
Most
new to this.
definitely.
But at the same time, like, there's a lot of people who do the same stuff as we do. We turn on the camera and we show fucking cards. We talk about them, whatever. Hell, Michael can freaking go on a diatribe for one fucking card for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's okay because, like, for me, I enjoy some of that back end understanding of why this card is so important to him. That to me is important.
Mm-hmm.
I only
Because
make videos for Dave.
Well, that's pretty much the only reason why I do it. Because, like, in all fairness, I look at ours, like, for instance, Michael, I don't remember what your sub count got up to, but, you know, like Dave and I were hovering close to like 900 for a lot of time, for a lot of years.
Oh, yeah. I never really followed.
And let's face it, probably like 60% of them are like
Dead
channels. So, like, I can sit here and say, Chris, I know still watches my videos because one of the most recent ones that I posted, of course, I no longer have shit up on the wall. He sent me a text. He's like, dude, everything okay? Like, so, like, I know he's still around. He still watches things. He just isn't active. And, like, video editing, all that kind of shit, that's not a sure win for the Hall of Fame either. Like, case in point, Orlando. Orlando has been here and hung out with us for a lot of years. Orlando is he's just an awesome guy. His videos are a lot like ours. He shows cards. He talks about them. He talks about some of the history. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's still good conversation. It's still good information. I'm not going to use the C word because I hate that word.
Yep. But
he's very simple. He's very laid back. That's the way he chooses to do that. Orlando's going to get in this year. Orlando will get in.
Yep.
as he should.
Yep.
But on the flip side, he shouldn't because he hasn't been around that long. And that's not a dig, Orlando. Like, in all seriousness, dude, you are fucking awesome. I watch your stuff when you post football things. As it pertains to baseball, I could give two shits. But when you post football stuff, I watch it.
Or if he's live walking and I have the chance and I'm home and he's walking, I'll stop in, pop in, say, hey, what's going on, Orlando? Hope all is well, and then stay with you for about 10, 15 minutes, and then I duck out because it's just it's my kind of stuff, but at the same time, it's always, and we've talked about it a lot of the time, where our headspace is and what we want to consume video-wise. It's I showed Baz. No shots. Just, I had a hankering for those, and since we don't have a lime without, we got sugar-free lime. I don't want sugar-free lime. I want regular lime. But it just depends what we're literally in the mood for.
Yep.
And it's never, we've said it, it's never a fucking knock on anyone. If I want to watch, if I see somebody's got a bunch of like vintage cards coming, I'll sit there and watch 15 minutes of it if it's a 20-minute video. But then I'm done. I don't need to go and watch literally anyone else's because I've seen not what there is, but the stuff that I care about. Okay, great. Happy days. Bob Gibson's in there. I'm very happy. But it's the aspect of just being on for the 3 years. And again, it's not the narrow-mindedness. I don't mind going from 10 to 5. That really doesn't. I'd rather have X amount percentage of the votes, but you don't have a universal ballot, so that sort of skews that. And you can't make a ballot and put 500 names on there or whatever the case may be, just because that's an arduous task that I wouldn't expect anybody to do, even for a fucking like brick and mortar type Hall of Fame for like YouTubers. Come on, let's be serious here. But to the thing that doing away of the vintage, the Wilkie
longevity.
AR 77. I know my buddy Eric screws that up every time. Those back pages, but I mean AR Falk 77, not R Falk or whatever. AR Falk. And again, I know a very polarizing person. That's fine, but it's just like these aren't difficult names. It's not like we've got like 14 Q's and W's and X's in there.
Even a new guy, a newer guy.
And that's the thing, when you're not willing to have these discussions, you just wipe that away. And again, I don't want to knock Jake because I know his intentions are well. I know he's got a full plate. But when you want to have something be as parallel to the real thing, and that's always been what I've heard. I want to have this basically mimic, in essence, the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. And you're taking out a veterans committee. So now you're erasing the history unless somebody in one of these videos that isn't on the screen, that isn't like a purple GT, whoever else votes old school stuff, they don't know. You don't have a fucking clue about who was here before you because you think sports card fucking dad and the Jeff Wilson idiot, these are the fucking first dudes that are on goddamn YouTube making videos.
Yeah, wrong.
That's what you think because that's the only thing that's perpetuated out there.
AR Platinum.
Even fucking in the middle of the year when you have your hobby palooza, and again, we've said it, we don't need to be on it. Nobody wants to fucking see us. Nobody wants to hear us. We found that out at National, except for a few, but I digress. Eagles Nest. But have a group, even if it's just a one shot, a one off, where you can get like Denny on Everett. Yeah, well,
Mike-
yeah, that. What came first?
See
Jeff
that.
Wilson or YouTube?
But here's the thing: like, I think we're rubbing off on Mike a little bit. I think that's probably part of the problem.
Huh?
Not you. You're Michael.
Hitman.
Mike being Hitman.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, and just for the record, anybody, this guy down here, it's Michael. It's not Mike. Don't call him Mike. It is Michael. Just FYI.
Because that was sort of the thing of the crux of like not wanting to care about the hobby palooza the last couple of years. It's been.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
But
You keep saying that word, and I don't know what it means.
That's all right. That's okay. I'll inform you.
Okay.
Don't-
you are not
You are not alone.
overly active. You are not overly active.
Michael, be you, buddy. Just be you, brother.
Okay.
Is that's the best thing for you to be? Because once you do, then you just don't do it.
I was just looking over here at my shelf with my signed cheese belt from all my YouTube friends. That's coming up on being 13 years old, meaning I watched videos of those people prior to that.
Yep.
I guess it's 12 years. It's coming up on 12 years because 13 was the first national I went to, and that's when I got
Doesn't
that.
matter. It's not
So, yeah,
important. 12,
coming up on
13,
a
it's
dozen
you.
years old of people I knew prior to even getting there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's
YouTube
mind blown.
didn't start in 2018.
And hey, sports card dad, Brad 8671 is a football fucking centric goddamn channel in the Hall of Fame. Know
Do your
your fucking
research.
people. Jesus
do your
Christ,
research.
research a PSA fucking 10. Research this shit. For fuck's sake. God. We're part of the community. Yeah, no, you're not. You're part of the community where you want to be part of the community. Where the money is. Like everything else in this fucking goddamn world.
We'll loan Vinny out to Sports Card Dad for $1,000 an hour
No,
to do your research.
no. There ain't amount of money.
Hey, wait a minute. This ain't about you. This is about what we can do for us and the future of the IRP.
This is for the greater good.
$1,000 an hour? You think he's going to cough up that kind of cash? Absolutely not. It's hypothetical. But we would loan you out for $1,000 an hour to do his research.
Well, I'm glad I became the whore of the IRP.
It's all out of love, brother. It's all out of love.
Jeez, Maurice.
Hey, at least you be getting paid. Like you do
Yeah,
it for
true.
you do it here for free.
Yeah. At least I had two.
Insane quote, Ed.
Yeah, and I'm just the U.S. department. Our Canadian department's even better. They're better than me. That would be the good doctor and the oil collector and Jeff Morris for that matter. Way more. They could dig into stuff. Look at what we got in the group chat tonight from the doctor. Good God, man. He's like TMZ and all them other ones.
Yes.
Sometimes I wish Michael was in there, but I know 30 seconds in he'd go click. He's not a group chat man.
Bobby, there's actually I won't say quite a few, but AR Falcon 77, which is what Dave mentioned earlier, he's no longer active. Ricky Russo, only because he's deceased. What is it? Joe Ryan, whatever his numbers were. Joe Ryan 13.
I would say Joe Zeppi was the one I was.
He's no longer active, and there may be a few others. There's not a ton. Stove is more active here than he is on his own channel. Joe Ryan 30. Thank you, Mike. But it's always a nice welcome surprise when we get Mark here anyways. But with his kids and his job, like he just doesn't have the time. We're lucky if we get a Hall of Fame vote video every year from him. So
he's still got a package to open, for the love of God.
Well, you may want to remind him.
I think that's gonna happen. I think that's gonna happen if we go to the national. Because Joe and I were talking about that other day. He goes, "I think you should just open a national at this rate." I said, "We probably are closer to that than not getting it." And hopefully, he opens it in order. But after Ed's debacle, good God, Michael might have started with 11, but Ed started with the last 14. He just started reaching and he goes, "I'm not." Basically, he said F it and just started picking shit out and opening it. It was.
Yeah, but the problem with that is like you get the good stuff first and then like you don't
There's
stick
no
around
build up.
Which I still need to watch, for instance, but like I have to make sure I have an hour to sit down and maybe I can watch it in pieces.
I just he just shown cards and he was like, he'd look at it and he'd be like, I don't think he realized it sometimes, and then he'd look at it and be like, damn. That's what the hobby.
Shut up.
It's what the hobby is about.
Shut up. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. You're done. I have the power. Damn it. Always remember that.
Jagoff.
Power of Grayskull.
All right, settle down, He-Man.
I will say though, at least those people have listened this year and have voted IRP instead of Dave or myself as individuals. Thank you for those who have submitted ballots and voted for the IRP. We do appreciate it. We know we don't care one way or the other, but it does mean something to us. Because there, in all seriousness, I should put it back up the banner and change it to me. Because I'm not speaking for anybody else. There are a lot of deserving channels, hands down. A lot of deserving channels. We are not one of them. Just throwing that out there. For reasons. Or maybe hashtag facts. I don't know. Which way do we want to go with this one? Mr. President, I have a job for you, sir. If you have a moment and you go back and look at some of the previous comments, there are a lot of people, not just myself or Dave, I'm speaking for the two of us because we've both said it. You have the power, Mr. President, to get in front of Jake, the commissioner, and debate and rant about the need for a veterans committee for the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. And no, this has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with Michael. It has nothing to do with Dave. There are tons of you're not old school, Vinny. You're an old school collector, but you are not an old school YouTuber.
This is hashtag facts.
So, let's get the nomenclature right here. There are a ton of people, that are well deserving to be there. And I know, based on conversations with other people, one of which is a Hall of Famer who will remain nameless, has stated there have been face-to-face conversations about it, and it goes nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is a detriment to what this was intended to do.
Mm-hmm.
Introduce newer channels to old channels to new channels. Like, that was the point. That was the purpose. And as we've said, YouTube didn't start in 2020. 2018, if you want to go that path. Like, it has been there forever. Forever. And in order for it to continue, you have to recognize and appreciate the past. Just saying.
To see some of these like breaking type channels getting fucking recognition over Cards Infinity and RBI Crew 7. It is fucking ridiculous.
Question is Firehand in?
No.
And Truthy's not in. Thundering's not in. Puff Bear's not in. I mean, fucking people that had in the day
AR Platinum. AR Platinum.
Aaron's got his stuff going on with the lottery tickets now, but it's still motherfucker was big back in the day. Irving's not in. It at what point?
Well, GSN cards broke. Denny broke.
GSN was I don't everybody's fucking so gung-ho about all these new breaking channels.
Breaking wouldn't be a thing if it wasn't for Chad and Chris. It wouldn't exist.
100%.
It does.
100%. But see, and that's the issue though, John. Like we try, like I've done honorable mentions in the past because, like, in fairness, we're only allowed 20 to vote for 10 channels. I could vote for probably 40. I probably could. And it would be a mix of new and old. Right? So that's part of the issue. Like, even some of us old school guys, we put our votes out there. And yes, for me, all of mine are going to be older channels. When I mention and do honorable mention, it's going to be some of the newer guys. Like, case in point, last year, I made sure that because Mike Hitman 23 was eligible, I believe, last year.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why he made my honorable mention list. And well deserving. He does post football stuff. He's a Washington guy. Mm-hmm. I'm not a huge fan of Washington, but hey, if he's doing football stuff, I watch. I do watch some of his Don Mattingly stuff as well from time to time, but if he's posting football, I'm watching.
Yep.
But because someone like me, someone like Dave, even Brad, who has the visibility, even if he brings up, he shows some of the other channels that he would love to vote for. But at the same time, that's the only type of love that they're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that is, and this, I'm not knocking anybody. The reason is a lot of them are no longer active. So, like, you can't appreciate it unless you take the time and go back and, like, look and watch some of their older stuff. And because there are so many more channels nowadays, there's only so much time in a day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we are with this. It's not a jab on anybody because there's only so much time in a day. We as individuals focus on those channels that we enjoy, we like. They're bad usage of terms, but again, there's only so much time. Oh, my bad, Mike. I didn't realize you had been there that long. Sorry. That's my bad. But then again, I also don't go check when people start their channel either. So, but again, like, I stumbled across Mike because of this. I stumbled across Orlando to a degree. through through IRP. You know, and that's only because like somehow Orlando found out about us through other people, which is what all this was. But because channels from our day are pretty much dead channels, they're no longer making content or they've pulled videos. So like you can't watch it. Again, there's only so much time in a day. You're going to focus on the new stuff. You're going to focus on the stuff you want to watch. You don't give a shit about videos from 10 years ago because it may not interest you. So that's why us older channels, active or not, are never going to get the visibility or the appreciation for that matter. So that's the challenge, which is why, and I'm speaking for myself, I've mentioned it. I know a ton of people who have mentioned it. You don't have to let in 5, 6, 7, 8 veterans. Like you don't. You assign, you figure out, hey, who am I closest with? If I'm the commissioner, like who am I going to handpick as my veterans committee? Do you go with 5? Do you go with 7? You know, allow them to vote for X number of channels, and then you take the top 2, the top 3, whatever. But something, in order for this, in my opinion, to be, you want it to continue, you want it to be, I don't want to say legitimized, but if you want it to continue, you want it to maintain what it was originally created for by Mike, you have to find ways to change it a little bit. You have to. If not, you're not going to get records. You're not going to get record ballots casted.
No.
You're going to start seeing probably a decline. It's going to happen. And it's because there's no outside the box. These are the parameters. These are the rules. This is how it is. Here you go. So just throwing that out there, like, again, this has nothing to do with myself. This has nothing to do with Michael. This has nothing to do with Dave. Because at the end of the day, we don't give a shit. In all seriousness, we really do not care. What we care about is those people who were responsible for getting us to do this that are more deserving. Is all I'm saying. Because I know I've said it in one of my videos. If it wasn't for Siktifer, I would have never made my first video.
Yep.
And my first few videos are garbage. Garbage. Like, I was so fucking nervous. And you can hear it. You can hear it in my voice.
Same.
And that was a lot of us. But as we continued to progress and we watched more videos and got more comfortable in things, it was great. It was easy. It flowed. There was no major issue to it. Like, it was just turn on the camera and boom. Second nature.
It was us finding our footing because, again, and like you could be on a message board and have your personality on there, but then when you actually have to speak and start to like, because you watch the videos again, I harken back again, like Michael Airfelk was to a degree entertaining. I mean, he had that personality, the extrovert where he'd at least
Very type A.
Yes. So it's like, okay, that maybe I don't care what he's showing a lot, but he makes it interesting.
Who's
Makes
this? Sorry, Dave. I
7. It's like, okay,
yeah.
again, there might be times when you're like, all right, I can not deal with all this energy. I don't give a fuck, but you can at least appreciate what's being shown. And now, like when Steve started on his rambles, it's sort of the same. You have all these the dumb placeholders, which I do that on here for the pure reason of ripping on everyone else. I know it's a shock. Hope all of you are sitting down. But you have this fancy graphic shit or a huge intro that's like some manufactured what I don't even know what program it would be to manufacture some of these intros, and they're fucking like one of those TVs if you walk in like Sam's Club or Costco's, the OLED or whatever it's called, like the newest, most high definition shit. And then you get to the video, and like X said, Snoop, you're shooting it through a fucking potato. I mean, you're talking into a fucking jug. And then these people go into the Hall of Fame. And it's we can say it till we're blue in the face. We care about this in the aspect of we want recognition for the folks of times gone by. Who else is in there? Squeepa. I mean, that's another one that should fucking... He's been around as long as us. Still putting out stuff. You've said it every time, Steve, in your ballot. That's one of your guys. And
we'll continue to be there.
And again, it's another guy. It's a... I hate the aspect of, and I'm glad Joe brought that up in the chat right before we went on. Not the stupid article from 2016. I can take a dump on that fucking article. But
the outer circle chat you're referring to?
well, no, that like the national one.
That's we've rebranded it, the outer circle.
Oh, I don't know if I was around for that or I just skimmed over that part, but
No, it's just been thrown around in conversation, Dave.
anyway, the fact that you see a lot of the same folks picking up the same cards, and then it's just a fucking domino effect of all this stuff. Oh, I picked up my 59 Maze PSA 4. I got my 59 PSA 5. I got a PSA 3, 2.5 each, whatever. I feel, and I know Joe's right on this, and I know we all feel this way. It seems like it's not even just the friends voting for friends, which again,
Nothing wrong with that.
yeah, again, that's who you watch. You're not going to vote for Sports Car Dad or Junk Wax Hero. Whatever these people are that have a lot of subs. Again, probably put out some adequate stuff, but you're not going to vote for them just because they've got those numbers. I don't care if you got those numbers. That doesn't matter to me. That's not a big flex. Congrats. I mean, Barry Horowitz will pat you on the back like he pats himself. It doesn't matter, though.
Well, case in point, subs can be purchased in blocks.
Yeah.
So, like, numbers are irrelevant. It's views that make a difference.
So you're sitting there and you're seeing the same. It's like I could pick out 10 people in like a specific quote unquote group or clique, as it were. And you know you're going to get the same, at least 8 of the same guys probably voted on every time. Well, again, nothing wrong with that, but then you see maybe some other folks. Hey, I don't see that person in there. Again, it's not conspiracy because it's the fucking fictitious Hall of Fame. It's
And John, you're right. Comments are another thing. Like, you can have 30,000 subs and still have a shit ton of views, but how engaged are your people? Or how engaged with your people are you? Because, like me, I don't respond to comments like I did years ago. Frankly, I ain't got time for that shit. And just the Bears, if you're still here, I still owe you a bill for using that in last year's Hall of Fame video. Just to prove I watched last year's too. But like, I usually like you'll get a heart at least on your comment, so you know I've read it. Usually, I rely on notifications for that though.
Yeah, for like, if it's for this, like the YouTube Hall of Fame thing or whatever, and then people start commenting, it's usually I'll try to do. Well, I don't really make any other videos throughout the year. At least sports card wise. But this is like, okay, if you're taking time to watch the animated disasters I come up with, I'll comment. I've commented on I think everybody's comment that's left one so far, and you get the heart, you get the thumbs up for your comment, and I try to do that, and I've said I want to try to do a little more of that. Again, not on everything, but if there's something that like I feel strongly towards. I know Lou Rock had something a couple weeks ago. Somebody coming over to his card room, and he's just sort of like dogging on him about it. I commented on that. I commented on something I think he had out today, and it's like, again, if something like makes me think and like, okay, that I'll give you my opinion, then I'll type it in and give the opinion. But like Steve said in the past, the fucking generic great card, cool, awesome, glad you got it, or whatever, when maybe you don't even watch the video. You just see the title, like epic Terrell Davis purchase. And it's like, congrats, so happy for you. Well, add something. Just even if, like, man, I like the design of that, or just something that you like about the card. Especially if you, because that was, I think, Lou's video today. Like, somebody got some card that they were excited for, but it wasn't the fucking PSA 10 Mantle 54 tops or something like that. It wasn't a high value card. It's like, if you're fucking happy about something, post something that's going to be a meaningful comment. And again, you don't have to do that for everything, and that's what I choose not to do. It's like, no, I want to fucking, if it's the time's willing or the time's available, it's no, I want to sit there and show some love your way. But like Steve said, work, just
Life,
daily issues. Yeah, life. It's fucking life.
adulting.
And that's the thing. I don't want to sit there and watch a queue of 30 videos about cards. I don't have that kind of energy anymore, because most of it's fucking, you throw in ads or whatever, and it's the same type of rhetoric. It's not anything that I get like worked up over. It's like, I'll pass. I'll watch monster trucks. I'll watch cops arresting fake cop people, drunken, disorderly people getting arrested, tornado videos. I'll watch pretty much anything else but cards, because I want to watch something cool. I want to watch something that I don't have to think about. I want to watch something that doesn't get me all worked up and riled up. And that's everything else but cards, because when you hear people say, collect what you like. It's just a hobby. And then you're blowing out the other side of both of your nostrils that you should collect this, you should collect that. That it behooves a person to collect these particular individuals or cards or this era, because other stuff is overproduced, oversaturated, and it doesn't mean as much. Yeah, train videos or the Russian car crash. Can't forget those. But yeah, it just, you want people that were paving the way for all the goofballs that are posting a video a day about top 20 vintage sales between 1971 and 1972, and my Josh Johnson cards of the week from February 25th to February 31st. It's like it doesn't matter. It's stuff like that doesn't matter. It's the stuff where we'd show our mail, we'd either rip it or have our scissors or some sort of shinger or something. Tommy Golf, that was another one that.
Shing.
And then crash.
Tommy's in.
I know that
was another one. Good call there, Dave. Because since Bobby was asking.
Yeah, Tommy Golf 85. That he. Again, that's the one where, like, I don't know. It's got to be something in the water in Minnesota, because there's AR Falk, Tommy Golf, and there's another fucking loudmouth jerk off that nobody likes. Something. I mean, you get 10,000 plus lakes, and I mean that's a lot of ranting that any particular person.
That's because it's cold and miserable.
Sort of like me.
Yes.
No, you were definitely becoming the old curmudgeon.
Becoming?
Yeah.
I was trying to be polite.
There is no polite. Some bitch.
Why
curmudgeon-y.
New Year's was like 25 days ago, 26 days ago. There's no need for a fucking resolution at the end of January.
Yeah, well.
So, I don't know.
It's more noticeable than what it was in the past. Is that better? Is that a better representation?
It is. It just, you look at the ballots and it's like, okay.
Well, let's face it. Let's go back to the first few episodes of the IRP. Curmudgeon Dave did not make a vast number of appearances in those days. It was only when Vinny showed up. So it's all Vinny's fault.
I've been told that my entire life.
Okay, I don't mean that, but
Life's full of disappointments, as my mother said. And look at you, son, you're living proof. She never said that, but I always use it.
She mouths it to you. She gave you sign language, and she's like.
And she does not sign because she's one of those teachers, but I digress. My mom's just an old, sweet, innocent woman. She's just, but.
Who subconsciously thinks you were a mistake.
No, no, not quite. But
that's pretty much what you were saying.
Nah, I was supposed to be a doctor, and I wasn't a doctor, so.
And since a certain person has decided to grace us with his presence, make sure you hit the like button so this guy that I just highlighted his comment pays. So just FYI.
There you go, Eric.
Hey, Stuke.
Yeah.
And yes, I know your name is Scott, but I'm so used to calling you Stoop these days. I always fail to do that. But anyways, I digress. There you go. Carlos has actually got a valid point for you.
We already have one doctor on the IP, and it's not for us.
He identifies rectal cancer in the hobby.
Yeah.
The IP. What's the IP, Vinny?
The IRP, IP, whatever. I'm so this whole
No,
topic has
no,
me.
no. Come on, man. It's all in good fun. Put your ass back on video.
No.
Well, if you're not going to be on video, I'm just going to do this. See what happens. Unmute yourself. Say what you got to say.
No, just this whole topic just drives me insane.
Oh, Ed, boy, do I remember that one.
Yep.
What?
And he's one that has never, like, that I know of, has ever been brought up on a video. But again, like, Gary was one of those guys, very creative, not everybody's cup of tea, a little odd, a little strange. But then again, so was Everett. Because Everett just didn't give a shit, right? Like, he just didn't care.
Him
I watched
laying
stuff
down
for
on
the
the
King
bed
of
or
Steak.
whatever. Laying down on the bed and like showing off cards to pose. I'm like, what the fuck is this, dude?
Yeah,
Did
as
he
he's-
buy out a Pinnacle shipment? Was that Gary, the King of Steak?
Yes, he did buy some, quite a bit of Pinnacle stuff.
Because I bought a bunch of Pinnacle stuff from him, and then he sent me extra. I bought, I don't know, it's somewhere around here, and then he sent me a ton of extra packs.
Well, he's the one who made Hits Memorabilia.
Yep.
Yeah,
He was the owner.
I know that.
And that was cool shit. And the creator of Tube Traders, for those who I can guarantee, outside of the three of us here and Ed, almost everybody else probably has no fucking idea what the hell Tube Traders is.
I know because I
Only
watched
because-
the videos.
Well, we've also talked about it with you.
I found his stuff when I bought the stuff off of eBay, and then it was actually Michael that said something about King of Steak, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I put 2 to 2 together and said, aha. So I went back and watched him actually break stuff. He had 2 channels, if I'm not mistaken. He had a breaking channel, and then he had his regular King of Steak channel, I think it was. Or was
Gary didn't break.
Well, he broke Pinnacle stuff.
He may have later on, but
That's what I'm saying. That's how I figured out who he was. Because he had his own website too.
Yep. But here's the thing, like, Tube Traders, the first few iterations, that was big time.
Yeah, it was.
Like, if you made Tube Traders, like, you were like upper echelon as it pertained to YouTube card collecting videos. Because those first two iterations, it was,
You had BT autographs.
Yep.
BT is another one. BT.
Beijing.
He should be
Beijing
in
Thomas.
there. Yep, Beijing
Beijing
Thomas.
Thomas.
That guy, hilarious.
Hey, yo, guys, it's BT. So much energy. But it's one of those in which, like, those first couple iterations, they weren't nominations. It was like, if you weren't here, you weren't asked to be a part of the set.
No.
It was only in the 2 later sets that you could pay to get in. But you still, like, I still felt as though the bulk of us who made it were not nobodies. You know what I mean? Because, Denny was in it, Scott was in it, Chris was in it, I was in it. You were in it one year, or were you only in Bauman 299's Absolute Bullshit?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was only in Bauman's.
Okay. But like to make his, you had to be kind of like in his upper echelon.
Yeah. And
So
you sent off something. I sent off an old Packers hat that I no longer wore, but it was one that I would wear in videos. So send it off to him. He cut it up and put it in the cards.
Yep.
I mean,
same thing with Gary.
yeah.
Like I probably couldn't get to it, but you know, I have my quote unquote patch auto 101.
Mm-hmm.
I also have a dual patch autograph 101 that me and a certain guy were supposed to share it, and I sent it back to him and I never saw it again. And it kind of pisses me off, if I'm being honest. But and like the first two iterations of Two Traders was really, it was different compared to later versions. Later versions were a lot more simplified because he was making more cards because more people
There's a lot more work.
wanted to get in, which, you know, again, like I sent in an old Bronco hat,
Yeah.
but I had actually cut out the patches so he could figure out what he wanted to do with them. Which is the same concept that Bauman 299 did, but he had a lot of the major die cut shit.
Yes.
Bauman 299s was fucking, and this is not a doc on Gary, but Bauman 29 Ryan was his name, wasn't it?
Yeah, Ryan. Yeah.
Okay, I like some like stick with me, others not so much. His was like intricate, fucking badass shit.
It's all over there on my shelf.
So, well, and that's the thing though, Ed. The whole point of I won't speak for absolute bullshit, but for Tube Traders was basically if somebody pulled like your big card, it was like get it in their hands. They paid the money, they had the card made. There were certain cards that probably as an individual who paid the money wanted back because it's a card of themselves. Like, who wants my fucking patch auto? Okay, maybe a handful of people. But in essence, it should go to the person who's depicted on the card. And a lot of people didn't follow that philosophy. Pay for shipping, or yeah, hey, I'll send it to you, but it's going to be X. No, dude, fuck you.
Just yeah.
You paid the same amount of money as I did. Like, really?
Yeah, Ryan let you choose what one card that you wanted. And he made sure, because they're all hand collated when he sent those out. He made sure you got the one you wanted back.
See, and I didn't know that.
You're
because
spinning. You're frozen for me right now, Steve. So if you're talking, I don't hear you.
Well, it's all right. Can you hear
Now
me
you're
now?
back. Now we're back.
I was just gonna say, like, I didn't know that because I wasn't in his grouping.
Yeah.
And that's not a dig by any stretch of the imagination. So, but his were fucking badass. Like,
Yeah,
badass.
I'll go grab some here real quick.
Yeah, go, please do. And if he's going off, somebody else come back up here. Damn it.
No, because Ed said Foxy. We've had Jason on the.
We've had him on a few times. Ed Bird, Jerome Baker boys. As we're sitting here, like other old school names keep Adam J.I.L.O. Not my favorite person.
Another one I was a fan of, but again, I had a lot of like Joe R35.
Joe was everywhere all the fucking time.
He was like the Henry S. If we're talking new YouTubers, that was Joe. He finally, I think, got on blog a couple times, but he didn't do a lot. But there was like the Henry S. where you'd see a comment everywhere.
Everywhere. Yep. Who was some other people like
Fun Techno Bailey? I mean,
yeah, Alan. That guy was fucking nuts.
Slightly.
S. Blaze. The original Blez.
If I remember, towards the end of him making YouTube videos, he was getting into collecting guns.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes.
They were the last
Yes.
videos I remember seeing of Alan.
Yes.
Which is probably not the best news for anyone out there.
No.
But if there
Uh,
was no S Blez, there would have never been a C Blez. Just saying. And
No.
yes, they are brothers. Just for anybody who's curious. Here, let me make you big there, Michael, so you can
Okay.
show off some
Here
absolute
was-
bullshit.
One of them. This was one of the sets, the absolute garbage. And I mean, these things are incredible. And I mean, the backs were even done with big old blurbs and everything on it.
A guy we talked about earlier, at least
Yeah,
Dave mentioned,
Brett,
Boston
who I-
Broncos fan.
I talked to Brett like weekly.
Yeah,
But-
we I think we kind of fell out of good
Well,
standing.
Brett just stopped doing YouTube videos, and really, he doesn't buy cards hardly at all. He's on the statue train like I am.
It wasn't that, like, I think we like just fell out of good graces.
But there's the barely worn stuff. Purple GT 22. There's that one. Here's Brett's
Yep, the slat.
Slat Hunter.
Yep.
Den 1013. This douchebag.
Yeah, who the hell is that piece of shit?
Yeah.
Sucks.
Then we've got here Sicto with
The Titus Young,
FU Titus inscription tearing up the Titus Young.
which I think somewhere again I'd have to look. I've
Here's
got-
another guy that should absolutely be him. Hook 'em Mikey,
Oh yeah, Hook 'em Mikey.
Michael Estrada.
Yep.
That's a sweet one of him and I believe the cheerleaders.
Texas. Yep, Texas University of Texas cheerleaders.
Here is one that I think the only one out of all these that actually is in it. And there's sevens
Yep.
with him and his boy,
Mizzou,
who is now graduated from University of Iowa.
which is wild.
It doesn't even make sense.
No, it doesn't. Makes us feel old.
One of my favorites, super unique guy, Sam
Oh,
Kind Ford.
Same kind. Yep.
I have here's your little insight. I have tried to get him on the show for the last 6 months. But
Sam?
yes, I talked to him quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was an
So-
all around good dude.
I like
So
him.
is this guy, Dan Staluka.
Gun show.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now the gun show.
Then
What's sad though is he doesn't remember me. He doesn't remember he and I ever like doing
no
sending
kidding.
each other Bronco shit. Yeah, has no fucking idea.
Big
Uh,
Fish.
Dave's favorite, one of Dave's favorite people.
One of my favorites. But again, we've said it. We don't have to like everybody in each other's friend circle.
Partly Cloudy, Matthew Kimbrough.
Yeah, he's another good guy.
And then here's one that should 1,000,000% be in. I don't know if he is. Fight on 5-2.
Nope,
James.
he's
No.
not. James is not.
That's
And that's another one that's sort of made a couple of videos here and there. And
yeah.
I don't think I've heard James on any ballots though, because again, it's one of those in which it's not an insult
You can take it out.
because I can seriously think of like 30 to like 40 channels that I could probably vote for that are well deserving, and they would all be old school channels.
mhm.
So again, it's like you don't think about some of these people until somebody else brings them up. Like Stotty Boy. Stotty Boy still makes videos from time to time.
Yes,
He's
he does.
another one who should be in it.
Yep.
So
Yeah, you get to watch him like grow up. You got to watch Yo Show Your Hits grow up. You got to watch, I won't say Manny grow up, but I mean,
mature.
Yeah, become like from like a teen,
Yep.
early 20s to like, Christ, you got your own business now. I mean,
Yep.
you've seen a lot of that.
Owning his own shop.
Yep.
And Manny, of course, is active on Instagram. I don't know if it's actually him or his people, but like they still post shit on Instagram
hmm
for the business. So, and that's the thing. I would say there's probably not as many channels as what there are now, but there are a ton from our heyday, and which would be well deserving. Well deserving. And
Tommy
again,
Boy, Ace X Deuce 90. Again, one of my
yeah.
favorites of all time.
Number one Redskins fan, Adam.
Yeah. Fowler. Because I don't know where he's at. I haven't.
Who?
I think that's who I'm thinking of. Big guy?
Oh, yeah, Adam. Yeah, that's number one Redskins fan. Yeah. Yeah, that's Adam. Adam Fowler. Cobra 10 SVT, Dave.
Who we happened to meet at Portillo's or Portobello's.
Yep, which, that was a welcome surprise.
Talking about Dave Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's one of the guys. I'm missing two from this whole set. He's one of them. His wife wouldn't let him give it up.
Well,
And the other one, I don't care to own. So.
And it's who?
Oh, it's I don't remember.
Just curious.
I don't remember what he goes by now. Ryan Curtis, the Sasquatch. That's what.
Oh, okay. Indie Noodle /
Yeah, whatever.
Dominus
A
and
million
Dominus
different things, and now he's the dynamic duo with douchebag.
yes.
There's that.
These are hashtag facts.
Yeah.
But it's like, and again, and I keep repeating myself. It's the unfortunate. I won't say unfortunate. It's kind of like it's a detriment for those of us who have been around as long as what we have to be able to narrow it down.
Yeah, and just what I want to say is, as much as I dislike the guy who started all this and the way he went about it, he just was sitting around one day and goes, "You know what? I've been around since this started. I'm going to create a Hall of Fame." And didn't even think about looking or even talking to people who had been around longer than him. That never crossed his mind to even go that route. But also,
Outside of Michael.
but what I was going to say, at the end of the day, nobody from our group and our, generation of doing this, nobody started it themselves. But also, I feel like none of us would ever have thought to do something as stupid as this.
no.
And I think that's what it comes down to more than anything. I mean, we wouldn't sit around and think about making things self-important.
Well, so how many years has this been going now? Is this the 6th year, 7th year?
I have no idea. I'd be
Oh. Yeah, 7 or 8. I
So
think.
to put things into perspective, though, not including Vinny, because he's not here, but the three of us would have been probably in first or second ballot.
Yeah.
If this thing existed then. Depending on who actually came up with the idea. If it was anybody in the groups that we hung around with consistently, we would have probably been in, depending on limitations and qualifications and so on and so forth. But we would have already been in.
Possibly.
By year 5, anyway.
Yeah.
Give or take. And yeah, again,
It
it's
depends,
not
because I mean, even that, like we all know that. I mean, there were cliques then.
oh god, yeah.
Oh, 100%.
So I mean, that's always going to be a part of it.
Well, and some of us, were intertwined with multiple clicks, though, too.
Yeah.
So, again, it's pick your poison.
Yeah, these absolute bullshit cards are older than the YouTube Hall of Fame.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, these were from 2015.
Well, and that's only because
That's
like,
hard to believe. That means it's been a freaking decade.
10 years.
Holy shit.
Because Ryan was in like the second big wave of new channels that everybody started engaging with.
Mm-hmm.
Because King Fluffy was another one around that time. Slow Pitch Fanatic. Love him or hate him. Love him or hate him. From a YouTube perspective, Kent was phenomenal. He kind of lost some of that when he joined a certain podcast with another certain individual who coined certain nicknames for me that are not fucking true. Anyways, I digress.
Well, yeah, and then
You're Big Dick Steve? You're Big Dick
What?
Steve? That's who they're talking about. It's you?
No, it wasn't me. Nope, wrong name.
Well, no, and then going head to head with us, it's just like, and then you're having Lego guys on there. It's just like, come on now, what are we trying to do over there?
Well, especially after Carlos told him, could you not have picked any other day?
Yeah, you
Like-
know that we're on there. We've been on there for a year and a half, or whatever it was at that time.
At that point, yep.
Mm.
But so many freaking, and outside of a few people, and I'm going to call out Chad briefly, only because, Chad had his entire clique, and he was very, very selective of who he subbed to. And
Mhm.
most of it was like his group, his people. But any other people who were significantly large, like Chris Justice, being in business, was subbed to a shit ton of people and would still find time to watch videos.
Yeah.
And comment on at times.
Mm-hmm.
But he knew what people collected. It was not uncommon if he was breaking something with somebody or for somebody and was like, hey, in the event that you want to get rid of this or sell it or whatever, you can reach out to so-and-so. Like, he knew what people collected. That's dedication. You got Tyson. Tyson was huge.
That's showing the fucking community and you're part
Mhm.
of it.
Yep. Tyson was very big in our day. He was
Talking about
subbed to a
Tyson
shit
NZ?
ton. Yep.
Oh, massive.
Yep. And subbed to a shit ton of people. So, and no, I'm not saying that some of these bigger channels nowadays aren't subbed to like peon channels. And by peon channels, I mean smaller channels. That's not what I'm going with. But they knew about people. They knew names. They knew what they collected. Like, talk about full on interactive, engrossed, engaged. Almost everybody was, no matter how big or small. Everybody knew everybody. Everybody knew everybody. Like shit, like Tattoo and Mr. NE should be in the fucking Hall of Fame.
Oh, man. I still go back and watch breaks where Tattoo's the one busting them.
Yep. That's the most fun. It's
Yeah. And it was great watching him from the first time he did it up until he really enjoyed doing it and knowing the players and knowing the sports, where before he knew nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But you
And
saw
And the cool thing about it is like, you ordered something from Chris, you wanted it open on video, you could ask to have Mr. NE or Tattoo break it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, it became a thing.
Yep.
Or, have Tattoo or Mr. NE, like, pick your boxes.
Mm-hmm.
That was also a thing. Like, you had all those options. But again, big, small, doesn't matter. Like, everybody knew everybody. Everybody. Like them, dislike them, love them, hate them, it didn't matter. Everybody knew each other to some shape, like in some shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah.
Maybe not by name, first name, or whatever, but like you knew the channel. You knew the channel.
Ghost of Zepho, Good Call 6. I mean, they're and
I mean,
that's
I've
been like,
told it.
and for me, like every place I've posted for cards, I've at least made a handful of friends that have stuck with me. I've babbled on about the Beckett message boards and like the buy sell trade. I've talked about Collector Planet, Freedom Cardboard, Sports Card Share, Sports Card Forum, Blowout. I mean, it's like, I don't know if I've got enough of a personality, but people are just, they're intrigued to see like the disaster that unfolds whenever I'm around. So it's like a car wreck. You're like, oh, I don't know. Let's see what happens. Keep them close by for the entertainment value, but like Jack and then Tyler Sports Guy. Again, I've known them not as long, but again, they're my type of ilk, where they like to hit on people, and they just like
Not
collecting.
scared to speak their mind.
Yeah, and that's why we are
Who we are.
once in a while we're good. It's tough finding that, as we've said in like pretty much any video you've ever said about like promoting somebody on here, back to like the sub contests in the back in the day, like, hey, who name 3 collector based channels, or like best player collections you think, or best team collector, best whatever collection, patch, set. You name them, you give reasons, and it's like, okay, like, it wasn't like pairing up at like a dance or something, but you started getting that group. So, okay, this got this bubble. It's like the old push toy that had like the popcorn bubble in there, and they pop, 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 pop. It rolls across the Fisher Price deal. It's like that thing was full of like people that you maybe you didn't always talk to, but when you saw them, you could talk to them either in chat or whatever at the card shows, like the national or the pre-national or somewhere. But it's regular life. You don't have a lot of that, so a lot of this, that's what it's about. It's always been about that for me. That I say this, we say that the sign off line isn't a fucking catchphrase. It's not. And too bad Vinny's not around. It's not just a hobby. That bullshit. Where the generic, like the collect what you like. That's what you should be doing to begin with. If you don't collect what you like, why are you in the hobby? Seriously.
Agreed.
I mean, it's a dick measuring contest. I haven't broken that one out for a while, but that's the thing. We're just constantly holding each other's cocks while the other one gets the next whatever card that everybody's excited about. It's about the friendships and the relationships you actually forge in this hobby. That's what it's about. It truly is. And if you're not doing it for that reason, you're doing it for the wrong reason. And
Fuck you, Vinny.
You're on mute, Michael.
Sorry. So here's 2 more names. Tanvir.
Yep.
Oh shit! Yeah, TSD.
He's still
TSDST.
he'll either comment on an Instagram post every now and then, or he'll message me every now and then, just out of the blue. So yeah, Tanvir, and then Bobby AF Cop 13.
I was getting ready to bring him up because I still chat with him from time to time.
Yeah, he did the card stuff, and then he would show fishing.
Yep.
Right out in his backyard.
And that was another one. I don't know if we got on the show or we wanted to get on the show. Because I know that's one that I was always like, I want to get him on and just chat with him and have him. Because again, we all had, as we've said, our different cliques, our different groups. Yes, a lot of them overlapped.
Mhm.
But in the same sense, some people are closer to others than, like, maybe I was to somebody, or Michael was, or Steve was. I mean, we all had our people that we love very dearly. I mean, there's several people that were top of the list that we just, anytime their names were spoken or videos came out from them, we were quick to turn away and hide our face and head in shame. But big fish. But
Well,
but
Ryan,
but
RBI Crew 7.
that's the one that I don't. That's another one too that I don't get. That why are you not in? Why?
And for me, like,
If
unfortunately,
you're voting
he's
card
not a-
collector something too, then it should be RBI Crew 7 first. He's done it better. He's done it
and longer.
longer. Again, it just. Are you voting Mickey Mantle in the Hall of Fame, or are you going to vote Ken Griffey Jr.? If you have to vote for like a first timer, which one's going in first?
Mickey Mantle.
Huh? Interesting. What? But wouldn't it be Ken Griffey Jr.? He's newer. He's a newer guy.
I will say, and this, I'm only speaking for myself. Correct, Carlos. After Harold Baines, 100%.
Well, yes, that goes with those things.
Yeah.
I know, Dave, you've kind of mentioned that this may be the last time you vote. Vinny said in the pre-show he may not vote this year, which for, to each their own. I get it. But I can sit here and honestly say, and for the record, I'm not going to re-upload last year's video because I don't want to have to edit and put in 2025 when I say 2024. But the minute a sports card dad, a Jeff Wilson, a card collector 2, a channel of that sort of grouping,
That magnitude.
the minute one of those get in, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done because this was meant to introduce collecting channels to collecting channels. And none of them, as far as I'm concerned, I don't give a shit what Jeff Wilson says. It's not a collection.
No.
It's a freaking stockpile of shit in order to move and sell at some point for profit.
Mhm.
That's all it is. And yes, I understand card collector 2. The 2 is supposed to signify that he also collects. What does he post? Shit that he buys, breaks, shit around the shop, whatever. That's not collector based. It's supposed to be collector focused channels. And although, for instance, Ricky Russo did a lot of breaking, he did talk about stuff that he stuffed and stashed in his collection, though, too. Not everything that he pulled and stuff ended up going to the card show.
Mhm.
He had his stockpile and his stash of stuff that he kept, and he would talk about it.
And he would show them from time to time.
Mhm.
I wouldn't know because I didn't watch a lot of him. Like, he wasn't my cup of tea. Like,
Yeah.
he wasn't. And again, like, not everybody is for everyone. But like, I have nothing bad to say about the guy at all.
Mm-mm.
He was dearly loved by a lot of people. And when he passed, like, it fucking devastated some folks.
Yeah.
Devastated some folks. For good reason. He was a good dude. A good human. In the words of Vinny, don't be a douche, just be a good human. And he checked all those boxes. Again, not my cup of tea. But there's nothing there's nothing bad I can say about him. Nothing at all. So it's Victor Negron's another one who's been around for a while who
Yep.
should be in. I don't know Victor very well, but like, he's another one who should be in. So
62 drunk. Lambo fan.
Yeah, Eric.
The Ravens fan. The Ravens fan. I mean, there's so many guys.
He faded into obscurity pretty quick, though.
Yep. He came in with a bang and then disappeared.
Yeah, Eric Zimmerman was his name.
Yes, and it was a
I know
different
because he's on my belt over there. I met him in 13 in Chicago.
because he was like what EREK, Eric.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a different spelling, yeah. But I know I mentioned him earlier, but I don't know if anybody heard me. King Fluffy 1979.
Oh yeah, Curtis, right?
I
Was
believe
his name
so.
Curtis?
I think so.
Steve's frozen. I'm sorry.
I think so.
Yeah, I was pretty sure his name was Curtis. I think I made a deal or two with him. I definitely watched his videos and he watched mine. But I think him and I even actually made a couple deals.
I know I made a couple deals with him. Ed Warhaw is another one.
Yep, Harley.
Yep, he was majorly active for a lot of years.
Fours.
What?
Ed Bird,
We said him earlier.
did you?
But you had
Oh yeah,
fours.
yeah,
Ford.
all fours.
422 or whatever, Jeff or whatever
Yep.
it was.
Yep.
Starvin Marvin. I mean, we had that episode where we went through like all the names. I mean, if
Quite
you
a
want to
few
go,
of them.
if you want to go back, and it might be me commenting, and this will be the one time we do this, or we might have done it maybe one other time. I'll comment.
Old school versus new school. It
Yeah.
was the topic.
I will put the link in the comment box or whatever. Go check that out because we go on for days about a lot of these YouTubers that aren't around. Because again, Herd Fan 87 doesn't have any of his videos up.
Yeah, he took them all down.
Oh.
We've
And I
had him
love-
on the show. We've had him on the show.
I love Matt. He's a great guy, but yeah, doing that, it's just like it's not even for the fact of you can't be in the Hall of Fame now. There's a ton of shit that was cool.
Well, Dave's midlife card crisis, voted for Fabian, Mike Fabian, Eastern Connecticut Sports Cards, even when he had no videos. And only recently has Fabian come back.
Yeah.
And he still votes for him. He still votes for him.
And that's part of the problem when you have people, quote unquote, again, it's never a knock on Jake or to a lesser extent, of course, to Mike, baseball character, but when you don't have the knowledge of the old school, when you sit there and say, well, they got to be making the videos for X amount of years, like, well, they did. I didn't become friends with a dead channel. I am 140. Ryan, bam.
Oh,
One of the favorite, Worm Burner. I mean, there's so many of these guys. It was the guys before us. Was the Dazzlers, the Edbirds, the JBB.
God, I miss JBV.
Rodman 9.
Who?
Rodman 9.
Uncle Willie.
Yep, the fucking picture though of us at freaking National, like it was almost like damn near like 80 years of YouTube in one fucking picture.
Yeah, and if Ryan and Neil got in, there's over 100.
Yep.
And
'Cause
you
it
had
was what? Me, you, Phil, Rodman 9,
and Dazzler.
and Dazzler. Yep. All in one
And then,
picture.
and then it was like, and because there's a couple like waves at the beginning. I get Thundering 24s in there, of course, too. AR Platinum, Aaron. But then you had like a Denny, Sichtifer, Scott, Manny, Micah. I know Elon was somewhere in there because that was the 09 Nationals, the first time I ever watched YouTube because we watched, I think, a couple of videos and I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? I don't know what any of this shit is.
There was another guy who wasn't around very long, but I enjoyed his videos. And I think had he been a channel that was around now would be super popular. But that was Taka Tanaka Giants.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I liked
Man.
him. He didn't make videos for all that long, but they're really interesting because, I mean, he was over in Japan
Yep. As a
teaching
teacher.
kids English.
Yep.
And he would show, the different foods and snacks and all that kind of thing, along with all the cards.
and he had killer fucking handwriting, man.
Yeah, he did.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he did.
Seeing the handwriting and care packages that he would send with people is like, damn, this guy could fucking write.
Yep.
I thought that's like what I thought the name was. But he was in that group of like with the Partly Cloudies, the Dominus Infinitus, the Worm Burner, Fight On, in that like 2000, late 2011, early 2012, like sort of grouping, I think.
Well, then there was like Mar 58 Suited.
Yep.
Was I think around that time. I can't remember like when A's Fan and Jay's Fan 7 were around. Because A's Fan 7 was fairly large in that time frame.
I think Ed was same time.
Taka's last video was June 27th, 2015.
Damn, so
So it's coming up
10
on 10
years
years ago.
But it's amazing as we're sitting here and like just, you know, coming across people that it's like, oh shit, yeah, I fucking remember him. Accordion Jacob.
Yep.
I remember the name. I don't remember watching a lot of his stuff.
He didn't make a whole lot of videos, but
No.
what's Julian Gaston?
Yep.
Yeah.
Also known as Juju. Because he was another, he did breaks.
Yeah, that's Joey was loyal to Julian. Joey pulled a lot of really cool PC stuff in Julian's breaks.
Mm-hmm.
Lucky. And somebody had mentioned like what I don't remember what word was used. In memoriam. But you have like Jeter Demand 1, who passed away. We had Ricky Russo. We had Taz McCann, who passed away from cancer. And then you also had Lucky to Be Here. And then most recent, like I didn't watch her, but for the life of me, I can't remember her name. Somebody help me.
Lisa Z.
Lisa, thank you. Lisa Z. So like, in my opinion, like anybody who we've lost over the years, who is any part of this community, there should be a like in memoriam. Like they should, like, oh, I vaguely remember that one, Ed. His wife, if keep me honest, his wife ended up coming on and making a video.
Yeah,
talking about it. Like she had gone to the store or whatever and come home and he was unresponsive and gave him CPR and all that other kind of stuff. And like, sadly, he ended up passing away. And I knew like Joe Ryan Fan had passed away. Like I knew that one.
Was there? I want to say there's like a Weaver fan too, or Weaver fanatic, or
that could be, because that name sounds vaguely familiar, and that would have been what it would have been from.
Oh, here is another name I forgot about. Mr. Big Lump 007.
I didn't know him.
No, I watched his videos.
I didn't know him. Are you looking through your subscriptions?
I'm looking at my who I subscribe to that hasn't made a video in forever.
Well, and that's like last year's. So my last year's ballot video, and I said it like this is take 2, because I literally like as I was recording the first iteration, I had hit like 20 minutes, and I was literally going through my subscription list and calling out a shit ton of fucking old school channels that could or should. Bucknell Bison. Anybody remember him?
Butters.
I know Dave does.
Troy Packer's Corner was another one I really enjoyed. He was a teacher. He was a teacher.
Yeah, he was Packer's Corner. Yeah, he was a good freaking all around guy.
And he loved. I mean, he didn't collect the fancy stuff. He just liked collecting non-autographed rainbows.
Yep.
Specifically, he loved Rookies and Stars was like one of his biggest things. He loved that.
Longevity.
Yep. Rookies and Stars longevity. Yep.
And
Yeah,
it's
him and I talked a lot because I was obviously collecting Clay's 09 Rookies and Stars longevity and just regular Rookies and Stars. And I was able to build both of those rainbows. And I may have even gotten like one of the ones out of 25 from him. But yeah,
I know Rick.
Troy Kukta, I think his name.
Yeah, it was something like that.
Yep.
That's longevity for this year.
And Troy actually, a couple of videos had popped up for him in the last like 5-6 months. He's made a couple videos.
Okay.
I don't believe.
Has he really?
Yeah, I don't think they were cards. I think
Okay.
they were maybe toys.
Yeah. Because I remember, wasn't he religious?
I remember that name vaguely.
I think Troy was pretty religious too, if I remember.
Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised we hadn't brought up Wuju again.
JT.
Yeah.
Wuju would have definitely be in because you want to talk. No offense, and I've said this before. Fuck all you vintage people. You want to talk about some killer shit and some rare shit. JT was the guy.
Nailed it. Yeah, his,
Autographs, Hall of Fame autographs. Ridiculous.
And he's built it back up to where he only needs
Yes, he has.
he only needs a couple guys again.
yeah, it's insane.
And they're guys that might come up for sale once every like 3 to 5 years, and they cost a fortune because
Literally.
they're on basically historical documents.
Mhm.
Yeah, Troy made a video 3 months ago. It was a 1980 Star Wars Empire Strikes Back electric toothbrush.
No shit.
It was a whole minute 34 long, but it's there.
But that, like, I've been subscribed to him forever. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
that never pulled up in my feed.
No, I would have noticed that.
Yep. He actually still has what I consider a lot of subscribers. He has over 2,200.
Yeah, and most of them are probably dead, like the
Yeah.
rest of us.
Yeah.
So, Scott, like, are you talking about active, like consistently making videos? And by consistency, like, what's your definition of consistency or active? Because again, like, I don't post a lot of shit on my own channel. One, because I haven't picked up a whole lot of stuff lately for reasons. But I'm still active through here. I'm still watching videos. I may not be commenting, but I'm still watching. So, but like, I'd say five years is your average lifespan. But that's the other thing. There's a lot of people that have potentially made it in that have literally disappeared.
Mhm.
And we won't call out anybody specifically because one comes to mind and I'm not going to say it for reasons and out of respect for another individual. Have you stopped looking through subs? I was enjoying you throwing out some of these names.
Yeah, I think I've run through everybody that we would have known, and not there. Daddy 1824. I remember him.
Frank,
Mhm.
he was a firefighter.
Yep.
Yep, he was another good guy. Most of y'all probably would know it. Greg Nice 37 Hobby Kings.
I remember that name.
I don't think he did YouTube, but he was on blog.
No, he did. No, he did.
No. Raw Red Baboon Ass.
Oh, yeah, he didn't make videos, but he was always on blog. I remember him though too.
Oh, there's one that didn't last. Phil's Polls. Phil Hughes.
Oh yeah.
One that I really enjoyed following was Matt Strom, who's still playing in the majors.
Well, that's one of Micah's guys because he's from Fargo.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Strom Stadium Polls. I enjoy watching his videos. It's been a minute since he's made one. But he's been, I guess, more busy than prior
Well, yeah,
years. Yeah, he made a lot of videos when he was injured.
and he started where, Kansas City?
Yes.
And
Well-
then he was what, San Diego?
He's played, yeah, because he's currently with Philly, right?
Either there or Boston, I thought.
Maybe he
Somewhere.
did. Maybe he was in Boston this last year. But yeah, Kansas City, San Diego. Because one of a really cool video of his was the Topps Finest. What did they? I don't know what the new thing of it was called. I can't remember. But it was all the old designs.
Flashbacks. I
Flashbacks.
done flashbacks.
That's what it was. But he pulled the Pete Alonso Superfractor auto on top of the wall out in San Francisco, out in right field.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but he was playing with San Diego at the time, and he got the Topps Now cards of his teammates that hit grand slams, I think, in 3 consecutive games. It was Tatis, Hosmer, and somebody else that is really good, Machado, I think. But he got those and then got them all to sign them for him.
Oh, that's cool.
It was pretty cool.
Ed,
but
you're gonna have to refresh my memory on Timmy G. That is not ringing a bell.
Okay. Thank you, Jeff.
Dave, does Timmy G ring a bell to you? Like, that's not a name.
It rings a bell, but and that's about it. I can see it, but I can't see it. I can't see like what the use an Alaskan term, but I can't see his setup. But I do remember them.
Yeah, see, and that's, but again, like I didn't know everybody like by their name either. There was some of which I only knew them by their YouTube channel. Oh, yeah, still not ringing a bell, Ed. Still not ringing a bell.
No, name's not ringing a bell. The sentiment is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's what, the Packer fan 87?
Oh yeah, he rubbed a lot of people in the Packers community
The wrong way.
Oh yeah,
And then
he had his nut huggers, but there was a lot of people that didn't particularly care for him. He collected Jordy Nelson heavily.
Yep.
Anybody remember Sports Card Chick?
Sports card what?
Chick. Fairly attractive, probably in mid-20s, give or take. And like one of her male days was like a fucking DiMaggio rookie or some shit. Like really. And there was like very little excitement. And like, it's like, okay, this is all staged bullshit.
Well, do you remember? Oh, what's her name? It's in here. DRB00362.
Yes, I remember her.
She made videos for a hot minute and then disappeared. I think that was more husband related.
Probably. Dave, you probably remember Amy Spore.
Oh, I still watch Amy. Still makes videos every now and again.
Yeah, I saw one pop up from her not too long ago. And I was like, holy shit, that's a blast from the fucking past.
Yep.
It was, I think, 2 summers ago. She had a bunch from like the Comic Cons or the like the meeting, I don't know, let's say Bewitched, but it's not it, but like some sort of cast where she'd get like autographs in the 8x10s. She was big into that. I remember that.
She used to send off TTM to a lot of plays to get playbills signed and stuff like that.
My favorite back in those days, though, was Patriots Fangirl.
Oh, I don't remember her.
She was like she was around for quite a bit, but like she disappeared. I won't say quick, but like when she disappeared, like she disappeared.
Cammy?
Cammy, yep. Yep. And then we won't talk about the one infamous girl from back in the day. We'll
That's
leave
what I always
her.
think of right away, and I think of moo.
yeah.
Cowpack.
Which of course goes synonymous with Sarah and Brett 2007,
Yep.
who was actually the first YouTuber I ever fucking met. And like
He
at the time he wasn't a douche though. Like he only like it was later on in which some shit kind of was brought to light, and yeah, he just kind of fucking disappeared. And his main thing wasn't all Cowpack related. Like it wasn't uncommon for him to go and buy collections off of forums and like never paid.
Yeah, I was gonna say he had a lot of red flags with him after a while. It's like I want to support you, man, but you're
Here was another guy. I remember he would always watch and comment on my videos. Was Morebama 37.
I remember the name.
Named John. His name is Johnny.
I was gonna say I remember
He hasn't made a video in 7 years.
I thought there was somebody else that I saw who posted a video in the last few months that hadn't made one in a while. I mentioned Stotty Boy earlier, but it wasn't him. Because, like, I want to say, because you would probably,
There's another one. Oh, I thought
we
you
are-
meant before.
we already mentioned Wuju.
Yeah,
Because you showed off the hook of Mike E from Absolute Bullshit. I know he made a video sometime late last year.
Frozen for me.
Tell me when I'm back. Am I back? Am I back?
Yep.
You had showed off Hook'em Mikey. I know he made a video like in the last year.
He's real active in the YouTube Hall of Gamers Facebook group and in our offshoot group for our toys and statues and stuff like that. He's real active in there. He's big into collecting Funkos.
Is he?
I think specifically Deadpool ones.
Okay.
But yeah, he collects a lot of cool stuff. He's always been one of the nicest guys ever.
Yep. Yeah, he's.
Michael Estrada.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, like I don't even know how he got my address, but he sent me almost a full set, including the insert sets of the University of Texas collection thing that I think Upper Deck did.
Yep, it was Upper Deck.
Almost sent me the full fucking set because he had opened a shit ton of it and built a set, and like he sent me all the fucking doubles
That's
because
awesome.
he knew, because like my secondary PC is University of Texas players drafted to the NFL.
Yeah.
But that's I only did that as a subset, but like anything University of Texas is fucking cool, right? Like I didn't want to, but that was so unexpected.
Mhm.
And you bringing up Tanvir, like shit. It's probably been 4 or 5 years ago. And the reason like Tanvir and I were like fairly close is we were both Topps Chrome guys.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how we connected, because we built a Topps Chrome base set every year for a lot of years.
Mhm.
Whether it be by purchasing a case, putting it together, whatever. Like he bought it by the case and then built a set normally, or multiple cases for that matter, depending on what year. But there was a year in which he posted like one of the sets on eBay, and I ended up winning it, and he realized it was me, and he's like, I get a refund. I'm like, dude, Tanvir, what are you doing? Because like I knew like the only reason why he was doing it is because he needed money.
Mhm.
That's the only reason why he sold stuff.
Yep.
Something for his kid, something for like whatever it was. It was always for good reason.
Yep.
And he refunded. And I'm like, dude, don't do that. Cause like, I know why you're selling. He's like, no, dude, I can't take your money. I was like, at least let me cover shipping. He's like, no,
Yep.
no, it's on its way. And what does he fucking do? He also includes the Topps mini set missing like 3 or 4 cards. And then a few Broncos and like a Cody Latimer autograph. I'm like, dude. And it's all on video. Like it's posted
stuff
as a
that
video.
stuff that he could have sold and gotten money that he needed.
100%.
Yep.
But
Yes.
but that's the type of person that he was.
Yes. Still is.
I love Tambier, man.
Yep.
All around fucking good dude, man. Just a fucking great.
Loved his
dude.
Giants and loved JPP.
Yep.
Mhm.
I remember when he was trying to get that JPP NT 101 autograph for so many years, the rookie card off of it was being held hostage on eBay for an absurd amount of money.
Well, of course it was.
Because I mean, yeah, I mean it was probably $150 card maybe, and the guy was wanting like close to $1,000. I remember that whole deal. I don't remember if he ever ended up with it or not.
Yeah, of course, which was never a thing back in those times. $1,000 cards were not a thing.
No.
I mean,
I
in the
remember-
community, no. But I mean, yeah, you had the mantles and all that other, like the
Right.
big. But in our community, you never saw those. Like Ryan will post and show his shit that he gets here.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't a reality then. His big ticket items, AP, like patch auto rookie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was-
350 in that range, like that. A few maybe cut autographs that could have pushed $400 and $500, but
Yeah.
like Vinny said, JT and some of the stuff he posted back in those times, it was a couple $1,000s.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's because they were deceased and they didn't have a ton of shit out there, very hard to come by. But that was not the norm.
No.
I mean, I brought up Tyson multiple shows ago. Like, and this is not to take away from some of the big Jordan collectors nowadays, but Tyson, holy shit. He had the red PMG, the green PMG, rookies, autos from Exquisite. Like, you name it, he fucking had it.
Who we talking about? You.
Tyson.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it was fucking stupid.
I loved watching his videos.
Oh, yeah, because you
he
never,
was
'cause you
entertaining
never
talking
knew.
about anything. It didn't even have to be something I cared about.
And you never knew what it was because sometimes it was all basketball. Then there was times it would be baseball, and then there's times it would be football.
Yep.
And then the freaking big ticket item of his was always Bubba packs.
Yes. His mystery packs were the best.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Whether it be Bubba packs or just shit that he bought a collection or whatever and put mystery packs together, his were upper echelon.
Yeah. And they weren't cheap because they didn't have cheap stuff in them.
Nope.
You
I think that $40 I think was the cheapest he ever offered for a mystery pack.
Yeah.
And then there was always a discount if you bought 2.
Mhm.
Bubba packs were anywhere between what, like $75 and $90, depending on the number.
Maybe even I remember. I thought I remembered him running like $150 and $200 packs. That was just monster stuff.
Yeah, that wasn't anything I got in.
Oh,
But I got in a couple rounds of mystery packs and 1 or 2 Bubba packs.
I got to meet him in Chicago.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Tyson or Patrick?
Tyson.
Okay. Because like Patrick, Bubba Pat, for those who are curious, Patrick was never active on the tube, really. He
Mhm.
made no videos or whatever. On occasion, you would see, Sith Lord Pat was his name on YouTube. Every once in a while, you'd see like a comment on one of Tyson's videos or whatever.
Mhm.
But that guy broke a shit ton of stuff. And I'm not talking cheap shit. We're talking exquisite.
Yeah, cases.
National treasures. Cases upon cases upon cases.
Yep.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think he had some of them broken by Chris.
Oh, I'm sure. Yep.
So it's amazing how, again, and this kind of, I'm not trying to tie a bow on the show, but we are at 2 hours and didn't even realize it. You can't appreciate what's going on now without recognizing and realizing all the channels that came before.
Mhm.
And there are a ton. Great people, great collector centric, all about helping each other out. What was that, Dave?
Great collections.
Yes.
Hudson
Some
Fan 15.
Tom's another one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tom's another one. Who only does stuff on Instagram nowadays. He does post like the National Break Day or whatever. That's pretty much his only video he posts.
Let's say him and Micah usually still send birthday packages or whatever.
But that's the thing, like it literally, and this is this has nothing to do with what goes on now, because it still happens now, just not to the level or the consistency as it was in the past. People sending stuff, looking after others, helping people with sets, care packages, just because is no strings attached, whatever fucking terminology you want to use. There was never, it almost seemed like there was never a day in which a video got posted for anybody that you watched that there wasn't a care package in the video from somebody. It almost seemed like everybody who, like, if you watched X number of people, if they posted a video, usually there was a care package in that video along with some other pickups or whatever. But 90-something% of the time, there was always a care package. Always.
Mhm.
Big,
Heck,
small.
sometimes that's what it
didn't
took
matter.
for somebody to make a video.
That's true too.
Yeah.
That's
Here was
true,
another
too.
one I just ran across, and he hasn't had a video in 12 years. Go
Jeez,
Wisconsin
okay.
football.
Oh, yep. I remember him too.
His first video was in November 30th, 2008.
Damn.
Because he was part of the Trudy Club.
He was part of the chat group.
And then here's a couple more. Snaw Juice.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember Snaw Juice. Yep.
At the Guns N' Roses concert in 2017.
Yeah, Ty, that is definitely hashtag facts. They didn't last.
In July. I don't know if I'd posted, because there's a guy I met from Freedom Cardboard that was up. I don't know if it's Eric Slett from there. Yeah, I know he's on Instagram. And then took the picture outside there, put it on Facebook, and then I don't know where if I put another picture like where it was at, and then he had come over there with his daughter, and his daughter, because again, setting me up. Hey, are you Amish Dave from YouTube? So I'm like, nobody should know this, especially somebody of the opposite sex. What? And then he starts walking up. He's like, motherfucker, what's going on? So that's how we met. And then there's I don't remember his first name, but he's a Raiders collector, like Balthazar.
Balthazar, I remember the name.
Because that was another one that, again, I don't think I did too much of because I think he was another guy that was sort of in that Chad's outer circle.
Did somebody bring up Bald Rhino?
No.
He was another one.
I don't even know that. I don't recognize that one.
He's buddies with Ed, isn't he? And then what's
He goes way
Funky
back.
Diabetic is another one Ed always talks about.
Yeah, but he goes way back too. Funky Diabetic 1 is his full YouTube name. Yep, there you go.
I remember that shit. Because then I'll go back and I'll watch some of it.
Yeah, but you weren't fully confident there, Vinny. You were a little
Settle
apprehensive.
down, Steve. Settle down.
I'm
Yeah,
not
but-
wrong. I'm not wrong.
Hobby after all.
Fucker.
The Hobbit.
Shut up.
Gabagool. Ooh, man. Need a fan or something.
We gotta come up with at least a few more before we wrap it up. Ed, come on, man. You've been around longer than we have. Like, come up with some other names here.
See, it's hard to get in a hockey space because
One of
Go ahead, Michael.
There
like I said,
weren't
one
any.
of my friends that I've been friends with before I did YouTube back from blowout card days that made videos was Helmut, HELMUTT.
I remember him. Yep,
Chad
I remember
Kinzel.
him.
Chad's still around. Chad is sitting on a gold mine because Chad bought up Aaron Rodgers stuff in 2005 when he was a rookie.
Yep. So really cheap comparative to, of course,
Oh,
now.
yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he bought him those first 3 years that he sat behind Favre when Rodgers stuff was really cheap, and he's got a lot of really cool rookies.
That doesn't surprise me because, like, collecting was different though back in those days though too. Like it wasn't uncommon for, and we all of course made the mistake. Like none of us bought up Brady. None of us.
No. Well,
Because they were
Brady was
a
an
dime a
accident.
dozen. Exactly, but you know, a dime a dozen. You know,
Same with Kurt Warner.
very much so.
Kurt Warner and Tom Brady got their shots because the starters got injured.
Fuck you, Trent Green.
Yeah. Yep. Trent Green and then
Fuck.
obviously Drew Bledsoe.
Damn to Drew Bledsoe because that pretty much was the
He
end
became
of him
Wally
for the most.
Pip.
Yeah.
Fuck. Come on, Ed, give us some other names, man. Because I don't want to go like, because if I do anything, I'll have to like log out of the IRP YouTube channel and go log into mine.
Yeah, we mentioned John earlier.
Yeah, John was mentioned. Because he came in with the fucking splash too. And stuck around for a few years.
One that still makes videos to this day, and who knows, he might actually be in the YouTube Hall of Fame. I don't know, but Greg Thomas 82.
No,
No,
not.
yeah, he still makes videos. He never stopped.
No.
Correct. Josh Style 21.
Yeah, he did delete a bunch.
Josh Stallion.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
Cobb.
he's in this set. I left him on the shelf.
Oh.
I was never a real big fan of Josh.
He wasn't everybody's favorite.
No.
But he killed it with that fucking package he sent to Chris though. Holy shit.
Well,
Dave brought up Alan
Reasons.
and Matt. Oh,
They're
I'm
rich.
sure that they're wrong.
Rich Crook or whatever.
oh yeah,
Oh, Breeze and Owens, yeah.
yep.
I know Dave brought up Starvin Marvin.
Yeah, because that was another one that would, because he was on the East Coast, and that would be one of like him and Denny, depending on days. And
Did
That would be-
anybody bring up Jason Bosey, Foxborough
Oh,
sensation?
Yeah,
Okay,
Foxy, yep. Because Foxy's been on the show
okay.
That dude's a trip.
a couple
Yeah,
of
he
times. 2 or 3 times, Foxy. And he would show up in the comments there for a bit and then kind of disappeared again.
and if you were friends with him on Facebook in like the 18-19 time frame with Prism when it exploded for basketball, he would go on at like lunchtime and be like just going all over the like Target, Walmart, trying to find all this stuff, and then just go live breaking in his car. It was wild. He's just like every time he didn't get a Luca, he's just like, I'm a degenerate. I'm a degenerate.
Man, I would have remembered that name if I ever
Yeah.
saw it.
Yeah, I definitely don't remember that.
I would have been the first subscriber. I would
Yeah.
have,
He got to that handle before I could get to it.
yeah. And changed my name to CDC, crop dusting cards.
Well, the fact that some people still know you as Josh Johnson 55, though.
Yeah,
That was
Nathan. I remember him.
Did Drew make it in? Drew Van?
I know, and that's a wild thing too, because you want to talk about the guy that I think about most with vintage.
It's
Oh,
that guy.
lefty NDV.
Yeah.
I didn't know his last name, but
Yeah.
And then Max A. Jackson.
Yeah.
That's another
Both of those two are, hand in hand.
And those are the two that are vintage.
I can't believe that neither one of them are in. That's absurd.
well, it's
Yeah,
no
I mean-
different. Jericho.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Michael.
Why is
should have been
Michael
a
Shane not in
founding
it?
member.
Yeah, why is Michael Shane not in it?
He is the best of the best when it comes to people.
No, yeah, he's just a
Oh, Men Lovers too. I haven't seen that name in forever.
Nick Alexander.
yep.
He was one, I think, right away that I was super cautious about,
Right.
because he seemed overly jubilant, but it wasn't like a jubilant that was like, it felt real to me.
Yeah. There was some questionable personality, I'll say.
And
And,
again,
and after a while, to me, it just was like once you knew who he was a ball player and everything. I'm like, okay, it makes sense. He's
Yeah.
kind of a crazy person.
yeah.
Yep.
Nick Alexander, Ed. I think he's done
Huge Giancarlo Stanton fan.
Yep. Come on, man. Give me a fucking decent fucking rookie. Jesus. Garbage. Garbage. Of course, I am getting some base to send a few people because I'm sure most
and
and DePaul. He got ran out though.
It says that down at the bottom. That's in the last line.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that shit. Shady motherfucker. Random question though, Michael. Like, you being an Aaron Rodgers guy, like, do you give a shit about anything in a Jets uniform?
Absolutely not.
I didn't think so, but I thought I'd ask because, like,
so that means that's the highlight of the Christmas package.
Instead of die cut,
Yeah.
this guy has a card listed as cutout.
cut out.
Nice. I
Gabagool.
absolutely hate that Rodgers went to another team and changed his number because Panini slaps his Aaron Rodgers with an 8 on Packers cards all over the place.
Horrible. But it's Panini, so.
But I'm also not buying new stuff anyway. I mean, I bought the Favre from the new Flawless because I didn't have a Super Bowl auto in the collection, and I really liked it, and it was jersey numbered, so I bought it. But most of what I've bought in the last year hasn't been stuff from products that have come out in the last year.
Not the best one, but red, white, and blue Penix.
That's not a bad one.
Not horrible.
Definitely for next year.
Yeah.
Or next season.
Like, I'm definitely not complaining about that one. Oh,
I guess I need to pull out this Eagles card for Ed at some point.
Yeah, pull it out and throw it in the fucking garbage. Oh, yeah.
All right, 2 left. Let's see. And no, I'm not like showing everything because I pulled 3 Broncos base though.
What's that,
Where is
Bob?
it?
Number 2.
What?
Oh boy.
Oh damn.
National, whatever.
Okay. Yeah, for the national packs.
Ed'll like this one. That is a prism, by the way.
Nice.
Yes.
Saquon. Not that anybody cares about this, but I'll take an Eddie Mack, red, white, and blue.
I love Ed McCaffrey. There's still a card on my watch list that's been there for a year that the seller, it doesn't have it as best offer, and they never discount it. And I just can't bring myself to spend $200 on Ed McCaffrey.
One of the inserts, and it is
Okay, well,
kind of prism-esque. But yeah, like,
Stained glass or some kind of something.
well, it's prismatic is the name of the insert set, but I don't know if they're all like that or not. I'm assuming they probably are, but
I think Bill Burr said it perfectly on the Rich Eisen show. The Eagles better get up 30.
Yep.
Because if it's close, you're getting fucked.
Did you see him and Billy Corrigan are brothers?
There's speculation that they're half
Yeah.
brothers, yeah.
I saw that the other day. Howie Mandel set him up.
They look like brothers.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Yeah, the whole Howie Mandel kind of fucked up there.
Yeah, because I don't think they.
Howie told them each something different to get them both on at the same time.
Oh.
He told Billy Corgan that Bill Burr was okay talking about it, and Burr doesn't like to talk about his dad at all.
Yeah,
Because
it
he was a
seemed
shit
that
father.
way.
And that's what he wasn't a good guy. And he goes, just to kind of underscore that he wasn't a good guy, if we are brothers, he named one of us Billy and one of us Bill.
Yeah. That's a cool one.
there's a Jaden at least, and a Drake May.
Oh, and then he was like, hey, he's like, all dad played was the guitar. And he's like, not in my house. He played the saxophone and the drums. It was like, he said, the one kid said that his dad said his fingers were too fat to play the guitar. So all he played was saxophone. It was weird how it was like.
Well, Burr's a hell of a drummer.
Yeah, I don't know any of those kind of details, but it was just funny the resemblance is uncanny.
It is. And they both, I mean, they're less than a year apart in age. And it was during the time when the dad was a traveling musician. So it just kind of makes sense. And Burr said there towards the end of it, he goes, I mean, the likelihood is that we probably are, but left it at that.
That concludes our John Cougar Mellencamp, Dave Archer music moment of the evening.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it was Bruce Springsteen. Never mind.
Good old Dickie Lee.
Yeah, Dickie Lee. My
Hey.
darling.
He sings Patches. You need to go fucking listen to that. That is the chef's kiss of storytelling in the early 60s. And the crowd goes silent. Yeah, because if you see cards that I'm showing, that's not going to be many coming in now. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
For the
Are you
foreseeable,
Are you at least enjoying said vehicle?
I am.
Good.
It's nice to have a vehicle that starts up.
Yeah.
And you can get in. Does it have automatic start?
No, doesn't have that. But again, that's if down the road maybe I can get one installed or whatever. But it's like I don't.
A workable vehicle that you can travel to work in is.
And to the cities.
Yep.
I mean,
You traded the old one in?
no, the old one sits out there. The new one sits back there. The old one, engine mount, the frame, and the strut, right front strut, has been rubbing against the front tire for the last month plus.
Oh,
The
boy.
last Monday when it was extra cold out, I walked to work. Wednesday I walked to work. Thursday I walked to work, and then Saturday I walked to work. And then went down, got all the stuff sort of lined up Thursday, made sure down the dealership they had everything right, and then we sent the purchase agreement up to the credit union here, cut the check on Saturday or Friday, and then went down Saturday to pick it up. So,
Hey, head of the ball game now. Hopefully,
oh, yeah, I hope.
5 to 10
So-
years, easy. Hopefully,
Yeah, only
Allegedly.
52,000 miles on it, so for a 2020, I think terrible. Maybe I'll have that video. I'll have some stupid video of the vehicle, and the plates are good till November, so I like that time of year because sort of that September, October is a nice quasi lull for softball and all that stuff, but and then I can get jump the gun, get the plates paid off before middle of October, and then I'm. But yeah,
Michigan, it's your birth date. It's when your tags are due. So, something I was not used to because Pennsylvania, it's the day you buy your car is the month of.
Same here. The day you license
That's
it,
how it
pay your
is.
tax.
Yeah,
Day you license it is the day you renew it.
exactly.
Yep.
Then
Same
you
here.
have to get inspection in Pennsylvania too, which is always the biggest gimmick under the sun.
I'll have to get an inspection next year for the first time because when I bought my vehicle, is as long as it has under 149,000 miles, under 149, then you don't have to get it inspected. Mine's going to hit that this year, but I always buy 2-year tags. In Missouri, you can buy 1 year or 2 year. So I always buy 2. So by the time I need them again, I'll have to get an inspection.
In Pennsylvania, depending on where you were, like we just got a regular inspection, but like Philly, I'm pretty sure Ed's vehicles, you have to get like the regular inspection, and you used to have to get the
cheesesteak.
The emissions.
emissions inspection. I couldn't think of the word.
Yeah.
I was working on it at work today, so it was how I forgot that word. I don't know, but
Well, gents, I'm going to call it a night. Because otherwise, I have a feeling this will go on for another 40 minutes to an hour into after time.
Never.
Yeah,
We don't
never.
do that.
But
Y'all know that certain places you can already start pre-ordering 2025 Top Series 1.
no.
I don't even want to hear that.
Not that anybody cares about Series 1 Topps baseball, but like
That usually comes out mid-February, end of February,
Somewhere in
sometime
there.
soon.
it
Shortly
does, but
after
like
pitchers
it's
and catchers report.
but I started seeing pre-orders like a week and a half ago.
I'll wait for Steve to stop spinning on me because he's frozen. You there? Okay. Okay, guys. It was a good trip down memory lane.
Night, Michael.
Yep. Y'all
Have
have
a
a
good
good
one,
night.
Michael.
Later.
Later, my friend. But yeah, I was looking up stuff because I was I was debating on because I got my 24 Prism football blasters, but I've been debating on whether or not to get a mega or two to sit on, just because this rookie class is fantastic. But what's interesting is in years past, Mosaic, Prism, and Optic football, if it was a decent rookie class, were gone like almost within hours after it became live, like on Target, for instance. But what's interesting, Panini's about to lose all their licensing. They're actually like making it difficult. Like you can't get Black Finites. You can't get whatever the Mosaic, the Nebulas.
Mhm.
Like a lot, or some of the major like huge hits and shit. You can't pull in retail. Not that they were common in retail anyways, but they've no longer made them available.
You know
Like,
why?
they stripped them out.
You know why?
I don't know, Vinny, why.
They're
It's not-
redefining. They're redefining the hobby.
Fuck.
There you go, Ed. Got one in for you.
No, they're fucking up the hobby. Because normally if brands are about to exit, they kind of load up on shit. Because they're
Yeah,
just
you
trying to
would
get
think.
rid of crap because they can't do anything else with it. I'm not talking like I'm looking for autographs or anything else, but I found it interesting that for this year, with the decent rookie crop and quarterbacks, they could have made a shit ton of money if they would have kept the opportunity to pull golds or vinyls or prisms or nebulas or anything that is low numbered in retail products. They fucking stripped them out.
What a hobby.
I'm going to get to the point to where I'm not going to bring you on anymore.
I'm giving the people what they want.
No, that is not what they want.
I disagree.
No, you were wrong, sir. But we are coming up on 2.5 hours. Tybo on us, Dave.
Well, thank you all that joined and chimed in, and yeah, if nothing else, we try to bridge that gap between old school and new school, just because it's important. Whether you believe it or not, it's important. You can't have. Is that retail or is that hobby?
That's retail, Dave.
Yeah,
Do you
that's
think
not
I can?
hobby.
You think I can afford fucking hobby?
I don't know.
I was so glad I was at least able to get a couple of these because these sold out pretty fast in a few places. Just FYI.
That's between retail and hobby. It's like a mega.
Technically. And my free Loricana pack. Woohoo!
That's from Wreck-It. That's the what's her name from Wreck-It Ralph.
Yep, that is correct.
Penelope something.
Von
Schnitzel.
Sweets.
Von
Von
Schnitzel.
Sweets.
Von Schnitzel. Von Sweets.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
And Ed,
So-
I know you've already left though, but I did actually get Monopoly Prism WNBA. Just FYI.
The WNBA Oracle.
Well, because I got my select. I said select and Prism were the only things that I would do for WNBA. WNBA Prism, a March timeframe, I believe. I think. But the fact that WNBA Prism Monopoly was still available, why not? Because the first year they did it for regular NBA, that shit sold out faster than fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I actually have the game in 2 blasters for the first iteration. And then I think I have 2 blasters of the second iteration. I did not buy the game, though. Because what was the point? Because, like, the game itself, the cards are kind of generic and plain. It's the boosters that actually look like Prism cards. For anybody who's curious. Or for anybody who cares, for that matter. So, and maybe next week I'll actually have my 3 other value packs that I can open. It was worth a chance.
Yeah.
I didn't strike out completely. I mean, not that I'm looking to sell any of these. Some of these will go to people. Others will just be thrown in a box and stashed for later. Of course, I could probably sell that Jaden probably for $20. And it's a rookie insert. Because his base prisms were going for $50 to start.
His hobby's good.
Not anymore. His postseason is done, so it'll start dropping. I at least get a little fun still out of opening stuff from time to time. Because if I wanted stuff bad enough, I'd just buy the fucking card.
Yeah.
I was looking at, we were at BJ's today, and I was looking at boxes. Nothing jumped out at me like I want to open this.
Well,
And something was like $89. I was like, I think it was football of some sort.
probably rookies and stars.
Yeah, it was a bigger box, but I'm struggle busting with the hobby. I said it normally. I'm working on Christmas. That's what I've been doing.
You're not struggle busting because you're still picking up stuff for the Lemieux collection.
Yeah.
It's you changed your focal point and not really looked at wax as of late because it's not really on your radar.
No, I have not looked at wax, and I love wax. I do.
I know but again,
I'm really trying to fill the holes, and I got some good stuff to fill the holes. So
plugging holes.
I'm sort of getting like you, Dave. I don't know how much longer I can hold on. I just, there's a point where I'm like, man, there's too much fuckery. There's my F word for the night that we're dealing with. It's gets old.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just like, yeah.
Make your ballot video, Vinny.
I don't know.
Just make it.
When's it due?
31st.
How many people can I vote for?
10.
And at Jake or Legends Never Die, and then the 10 in the description.
Yeah, and you don't up to 10. You don't have to vote for 10.
Yeah, I don't
Vote
think
for
I
this-
got 10 last year.
Vote for the same ones you did last year, unless one of them got in.
I mean,
I
that's
don't-
exactly what I'm doing. I'm voting for the same
that.
fucking channels.
I don't know. We'll see.
Because Ed still needs to make his, Bob needs to make his, Mark needs to make his.
Carlos needs to make his.
I got to get
I need to make mine.
videos for opening packages. I owe Yannick a video. I owe Modown 25 a video. I owe
Well,
Ed
get-
a video, and I
Get
owe
on it.
Bob a video. I've been struggle busting for the last.
How do you owe Bob another video?
I owe Bob a video from the gift card from Christmas.
Oh, gotcha.
So I finally got everything in. So I want to do the video and actually show what I actually got. So we'll see what I can do here. Office life. I don't have the privilege of always working from home. So
Yeah, but is it just 1 day a week though right now?
it's 2 right now. So, and that's why next week, I don't know. We might move the show next week, depending on how. I got to talk to you guys later about that.
Well, we can chat in after hours. Okay, let's all shut up. Dave, I know I interrupted you so early on, but Tybo, honest.
So yes, if you're gonna make a video response for Jake for the prestigious YouTube Hall of Fame, please do so within the next 5 days, 4 days, whatever it is. I think by Saturday? No, Thursday or Friday. I think so.
Yeah, 31st midnight, but I forget if it's midnight Eastern time. That's
Yeah,
the thing I don't want.
I think midnight Eastern because I think he's somewhere over in the Eastern time zone. So err on the side of caution.
Correct. Vote IRP.
Yes, dude.
That's the only campaigning you're going to get from us.
Yeah, you can watch my ballot video. I think I put that up last night.
You did. Gold, as always, Dave.
Those are
probably-
stupid long to try to put together. That's
I'll probably watch it again, but last year's was better. Just FYI, last year's was better. Because I just love the end. Yo yo yo. Eagles Nest 2024. I can always count on a laugh on that one. Like I chuckled on this year's too, Dave. I'll be honest, but I still think last year's was better.
yeah, I enjoyed like the little tidbit I had this year with the people I voted for. Maybe slightly stretching a truth or two.
Spinning a yarn.
Just a little. I did enjoy it, Dave. I don't want to take away from it. It was nicely done. It was fantastic. I can always count on something from you in that situation or during this time of year. So like, it's greatness. But I have to admit, last year's I laughed more.
Well, that and I think the initial debut of that sort of video, it's always going to hold a little more weight. But I there might, if you haven't watched it yet, and if you haven't, I don't know why. There might be a plug for a certain show on Tuesday nights.
No. Twice, I think. Maybe
Yes.
something along those
When I mentioned somebody in here, and then I at the end.
Yes,
See, that's what makes
Dave.
it fun. But that was like an hour-long project.
You're dedicated to the Hobbit.
Well, because you have to listen to it and make sure it sounds right. Because if not, you have to fix it and figure out how to. Like, I get it.
But with that too, I got to make the character, and then I've got to each time you see like a new reaction or whatever. Like there's this or like the lovey-dovey eyes when I mentioned my BFF, or like when I mentioned you, I'm yawning and barely staying awake. That's a new chat bubble, and that's a new like line of dialogue. So I had like 15, 18 chat bubbles And then I go through it, and it's like one of them was like Carlo, and I'm like, well, Carlo,
Yeah.
who is Carlo? I'm like, Carlos. Okay, I got to go in there and change that out, and it just becomes tedious. But at the end, when it's done, I'm like, I think I'll get some people laughing a little bit. That's all.
Which you did. I laughed.
Yeah, I spend more time on that than I did my last like 4 videos.
Yeah, of course you could have spent like 10 minutes or 5 minutes and just said it.
Like I just did what I want to do always, and just put down the piece of paper, record, give 15, 20 seconds.
Stop, put the shit in, which you could do that too.
Yeah, Trista's like, I
I
like
respected that.
I get you did. Now that was like you're getting to the end of the marathon. Like, I got to do something, and then
Guess what? Repeat.
But yeah, Trista's like, God, I'd rather hear your voice and your inflection. And I'm like, I would too, but after the one at her place with like the coif of hair,
That
and then
was
the
brilliant.
one where I like deadpanned it, I think upstairs. It's like that's if I'm doing it in person, I've got to do it something like
off the wall.
yeah. And I've thought of things, and it's just like it's got to be exactly right.
I
And
get it.
I've got to get what I want in my mind perfect, or it's just not like I don't want to half-ass it because it's such a prestigious award when you get that induction.
No. Keep in mind, we could always create the IRP Hall of Fame.
We could.
Talk about prestige.
You get a piece of used toilet paper as your badge or your patch.
Anyways,
So yes, vote by Friday. I think at midnight Eastern time. Get amongst it. Again, IRP. If you're gonna vote for any one of us, vote for the IRP. That way, it's a conglomeration and a congregation of friends getting in. So, again, thanks for watching. Thanks for commenting. All that fun.
and we all want to see Dave's induction speech.
Nobody.
That's the other reason.
We're never gonna see that. I don't see Sammy Thunder and all these new people in here, so we're an unknown entity, even though we've got more YouTube experience combined than they have years on this earth. But hey,
Well, if we could get all our subscribers to vote for us, we'd be a sure win.
even our like the old school channels, if they just came out and just one person, if Dustin Abraham can just vote for Victor Negron, Scott could come on here and say, voting for the IRP.
Yeah.
Vintage IRP. Everett IRP.
Denny, IRP.
The Amish Brotherhood that needs to come through, but again, vote, enjoy, critique. For Vincenzo, for Michael, for Steve, I'm Dave. This has been the IRP. I don't think we'll talk about it next week because I don't know if everything will be tabulated.
Please,
but
God, no.
I know Vinny loves it dearly. I'm going to get the Elmer's glue out and I'm going to get a stick because I'm beating a dead horse.
Well, if we have to reschedule for a later day, they could be tabulated. So
This is true. I might be my own worst enemy.
exactly.
Hobby.
You know what? We have a nose for these kind of things. Remember, collecting cards is a wonderful
Hobby.
the friendships that you forge along the way. That's what really matters. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.